Okay, tuloy natin sa number 11. So sabi dito sa number 11, a bucket 200 millimeter in diameter and 300 millimeters in height is 2/3 full of water. It is swung in a vertical circle such that its bottom describes a circle of radius 1 meter. Determine the speed of rotation such that no water is spilled. So parang ito yung figure natin. Ayun, so itatali natin yung bucket, then i-rotate natin siya on a vertical circle. Ang tanong is, ano yung rotation? Basically, that is the angular velocity para walang matapon na tubig. Pero take note, nakalagay sa problem na yung laman niya is only 2/3. Okay, 2/3 full of water. So kung i-compute na natin yon, so we have that as the 2/3 of 300 is obviously, ang laman lang niya na tubig ay 200 millimeters or basically equal to 0.2 meter. Ayan, so though yung radius, yon outside is, ayun, nung circle na form natin is 1 meter, yung laman niya na tubig is only at 200 mm. Hindi nakikita yan. Ayan, so yung laman niya is around 200 mm or basically again that is 0.2 meter. So again, we have yung laman niya na tubig is 0.2 meter. So parang ganito pala yung appearance nung tubig kapag yung ating bucket ay nasa ibabaw ng ating vertical circle. So ano ba yung mga forces na i-consider natin dito? Kumbaga sa point na to, yung highest point ng ating vertical circle, dito yung parang may pinakamataas na chance na may matatapon na tubig. Ano yung mga forces involved is obviously yung weight ng liquid. And ano yung kukontra doon para hindi siya matapon? So basically, circular motion, pipigilan siya class ng the centrifugal force. But again, we have the water is only 0.2. Outside radius natin is 1 meter. Pero dapat yung centroid ng tubig yung i-consider natin to form that circle. So saan siya dapat? Dapat somewhere dito sa gitna. Ayan, so somewhere dapat sa gitna. So basically, okay, magbabawas tayo. Ayan, from 1 meter, from 0.2, bawasan natin ng kalahati. So ang kalahati niya is 0.1 meter. So nandun yung centroid ng tubig. So ano yung distance na ngayon from the centroid of the water papunta dito sa center ng ating circular motion? What is 1 minus 0.1? Ang i-consider natin na radius hanggang sa centroid ng tubig is yan, 0.90 meter. Basically, again, yun yung 1 meter minus kalahati ng height ng tubig. So we have 0.90 meter. Ayan, balik tayo sa konting mechanics. Ayan, so paanong walang tubig ang matatapon? Summation of forces vertical equal to 0. This is upward forces to be positive. So ano yung upward? We have centrifugal force equal to the weight. Yun yung pipigilan niya, yung pagbagsak ng tubig out of the bucket. Recall natin from P6, ano equivalent ng centrifugal force? Ito yung weight times the tangential velocity squared divided by g times the radius is equal to the weight. So as you can see, dito, pwede na nating i-cancel directly yung weight. So dito sa kabila, mayroon tayong 1. We have tangential velocity squared divided by gr is equal to 1. Okay, also recall natin from P6, anong equivalent ng tangential velocity? Ito yung angular velocity times the radius. So we have that as angular velocity, radius squared divided by g times r is equal to 1. Ayun, so pwede natin i-cancel yung isa sa mga radius. Ang naiwan sa numerator, we have omega squared, 1 of the radius divided by g equal to 1. So how to compute for the equivalent of the angular velocity? That is equal to omega, that is simply equal to g divided by r. Since naka-square yon, kunin lang natin yung kanyang square root. And we substitute. We have the angular velocity is equal to, this is the square root of g, we have 9.81. Divided by, okay, konting ingat dito, recall natin, dapat yung radius hanggang dun sa centroid lang, mid-height lang ng tubig. So, height ng tubig is 0.2, kalahati nun is 0.1. From the center, it should be 0.9. So, this is divided by 0.9. Ito yung ating angular velocity, equal to, we have that as the square root of the 9.81 divided by 0.9. We have that as 3.302. Yan, 3.302. Pero take note, this is in radian per second. Ano yung multiplier natin? We have 1 revolution is 2 pi. Then multiplied by, we have 60 seconds. Okay, is to 1 minute. Again, kung isi-simplify nyo lang yan, that is simply 30 over pi. So the angular velocity now is, angular velocity natin, that value multiplied by 30 divided by, divided by pi. So we have that as 31.527. So 31.527, this is now in the revolutions per minute or the RPM. So tingnan natin if we have this one sa choices for item number 11. Okay, yun ka C, letter B. Okay, we have that as 31.53 revolutions per minute or the RPM. Okay, next, diretso natin ito sa number 12 since nakaano lang naman siya. Definition of terms. Sabi dito, a line, yan, number 12. A line joining the points of the highest elevation of water in a series of vertical open pipes rising from a pipeline in which water flows under pressure. So, naalala ko lang ito dun sa laboratory experiment sa hydraulics. So, meron tayong mga pipe, then meron tayong mga vertical pipes, okay, dito sa horizontal pipe natin. And then, yun, i-allow natin yung ina-allow natin dito yung fluid flow, pressurize. So, tumataas yung mga liquid surface natin dito sa mga vertical pipes natin. Diba? So, I hope na nagawa natin ito before sa hydraulics lab. And then, yun, you can connect this right top of each liquid surface sa mga vertical pipes. So, ang tawag natin sa kanila or sa line na to is the hydraulic grade line. Okay, so, or that is the same as the hydraulic gradient. So, letter A tayo for item number 12. So, yun yung solution natin for item number 11 and yun, item 11 and 12. Okay, so we continue to item number 13 to 15. Okay, so sabi dito, a wooden buoy of specific gravity of 0.75 in a liquid having a specific gravity of 0.85. Question number 13, compute the percentage of the volume of the buoy above the liquid surface to the total volume of the buoy. So parang ito yung ating figure. So the object, specific gravity 0.75, specific gravity of the liquid is 0.85. So again, kapag nakalimutan lang natin yung basic nito, start with mechanics. So starting with, okay, meron tayong weight of the object. So since yung specific gravity ng object ay less than sa specific gravity ng liquid, obviously it will float. Ito yung case number 1 natin ng regular review. So yung weight ay kayang-kayang buhatin ng buoyant force. So how do we compute for the weight? Weight is simply the gamma of the object times the volume. Buoyant force naman is the gamma liquid times the volume submerged, since again it is just partially submerged. So we do mechanics. So we do summation of forces, vertical equal to 0, upward forces to be positive. So, since dalawang forces lang naman yan, basically, yung ating buoyant force is simply equal to the weight of the object. Ayan, then we substitute yung mga equivalents. So, buoyant force is simply unit weight of the liquid. The portion, that is volume submerged, is equal to, ang weight ng object is the gamma of the object multiplied by the volume of the object. So if you are to substitute, this is the specific gravity of the liquid, unit weight of water, then volume submerged. Paano naman yung gamma ng object? Specific gravity ng object, gamma water, then volume of the object. So ano yung pwede natin i-cancel dito? Yung gamma water. So kaya lang sa number 13 kasi hindi ito yung required. Pero kung gusto nating directly makuha yung ratio ng B submerged to the volume of the object is simply the ratio of the specific gravities. So we have volume sub, diba, divided by eto, B sub O, divided by B sub O is simply equal to eto, S sub O, specific gravity ng object divided by the specific gravity of the liquid. So, kapag yung ratio ng B sub dun sa B sub O is simply S over SL, paano naman yung required sa number 13? Kasi sa number 13, ang hinahanap kasi is the volume of above the liquid surface. So, below the liquid surface, we have the B sub. Okay, ilagay na lang natin itong below ay the volume above the liquid is the volume unsubmerged. So, paano natin kukunin yun? Okay, balikan lang natin yung basic when it comes to the volume of a floating body. So, alam natin, yun na yung volume submerged plus yung volume unsubmerged. Diba, yung volume na hindi nakalubog plus yung volume na nakalubog is simply the total volume of the object. So, ang ginawa lang dito, since fraction or percentage yung hinahanap, divide all terms by the B sub O. So, alam natin, this will be simply 1. So, we have the B sub, okay, divided by B sub O plus volume unsubmerged divided by B sub O is simply equal to 1. Okay, tapos kung ita-transpose natin yan, we have the volume unsubmerged divided by the volume of the object is simply now equal to 1 minus volume submerged divided by the volume of the object. Pero di ba meron na tayong equivalent when it comes to specific gravities? So we have the volume submerged to the volume of the object is simply equal to 1 minus ano ulit yung B sub divided by B sub O? 1 minus the specific gravity of the object divided by the specific gravity of the liquid. So, pwedeng yun na lang yung gamitin natin sa item number 13. So, again, we have the volume submerged divided by the volume of the object is equal to 1 minus SO. Ano yung SO natin? We have 0.75 divided by specific gravity ng liquid is 0.85. So this should be equal to Okay, we have 0.75 divided by 0.85. Ayan, so times 100 na lang. So I think yung nasa choices ay nasa in percent. So pag 3 decimal places, we have that as 11.765%. So ito yung ratio ng volume unsubmerged to the total volume of the object. So check natin for item number 13. Okay, so that will be letter C. So pwede nyo i-memorize na lang yung equivalence nito. Kung gusto ninyo, B sub over B sub O is simply SO over SL. So yung nasa ibabaw ng liquid, B sub over B sub O is simply 1 minus SO over SL. Kung ang gagamitin lang natin ay mga specific gravity. So follow-up question number 14. If the volume above the liquid is 0.045 cubic meter, estimate the weight of the buoy. So, volume above the liquid. Ayan, dito tayo sa number 14. Volume above the liquid is a volume submerged, which is equal to 0.045 cubic meter. Okay, yun yung given sa number 14. Pero, di ba meron tayong percentage? Yung kaka-compute lang natin sa item number 13. So, we have that as volume unsubmerged to the total volume of the object is equal to in percent or in decimal divided by 100.11765 or again yun yung 11.765%. So we can have the volume of the object. Volume unsub is 0.045 divided by the volume of the object is equal to 0.11765. So compute natin yung volume ng object. So the volume of the object should be equal to, okay, we have 0.045 divided by 0.11765. Okay, total volume na ito class ng object. So gawin nating 4 decimal siguro. 0.3825. Tama ba? Kung ganun yung rounding natin. 0.3825. Okay, so pwede yan. This is now the total volume of the object. Okay, in terms of the cubic meter. Okay, so ngayon meron na tayong volume ng object. Paano natin hahanapin yung weight of the buoy? So, di ba kanina, meron tayong equation. We have the weight of the object is simply gamma, the gamma volume. So, the weight of the object is equal to gamma. Gamma ng object, specific gravity niya is 0.75 times gamma water, 9.81. And yung na-compute natin na volume, we have the 0.3825 cubic meter. So, ito yung record sa item number 14, the weight of the object. Pwede natin i-direct yung stored value times 0.75 times the 9.81. Equal to? We have 2.814 kilonewtons. 2.814 okay, kilonewtons. So, do we have this one sa choices? Okay, meron? Yeah. So, we have that as letter okay, so this is letter D, 2.814 kilonewtons. And then lastly, item number 15. What vertical force applied to the buoy to fully submerge it. So, ano yung additional force? Diba, obviously, it is just partially submerged. Kailangan nating magdagdag ng additional force para lumubog siya. Pero ano lang ba yung portion na hindi nakalubog? Okay, given yun sa item number 14 kanina. So sa item number 14, that volume above the liquid surface is we have that as 0.045 cubic meter. So yun lang siguro yung kailangan nating kunan ng equivalent doon sa buoyant force. So pwede yung ganun na shortcut. So we have okay, dun sa item number 15, meron tayong given kanina na volume submerged is equal to 0.045 cubic meter. So, kindly imagine lang, 'di ba, yun lang yung additional portion ng object na ilulubog natin. Sabihin natin, 'di ba, ito yung portion na yon. Initially, ayan. So, initially kanina, ito lang yung volume submerged. Again, initially kanina, ito yung volume submerged equal to 0.045 cubic meter. So, yan lang yung dadagdagan natin ng equivalent buoyant force na equivalent nung idadagdag natin na additional force. So, that is simply equal to the gamma liquid times, the volume unsubmerged. So, try natin yung method na to. Kasi again, yung additional force, ang equivalent niya is the gamma liquid times yung ilulubog mo, which is the volume unsubmerged. So, that additional force should be equal to gamma liquid 0.85 times the 9.81 multiplied by 0.045 cubic meter. So this magnitude should be equal to, ayan, so we have 0.85 multiplied by the 9.81, okay, multiplied by 0.045. So we have 0.375 kilonewton. 0.375 okay, kilo newton. So check natin if we have this one sa choices. Item number 15. Okay, so that will be letter B tayo, 0.375 kilonewtons. So ito yung solution natin for item 13 to 15. Okay, so proceed na tayo ngayon sa item number 16. So sabi dito, given is a 2 meters by 4 meters gate inclined at 60 degrees from the horizontal and is located at the bottom of the tank as shown in the figure. Determine the magnitude of the total hydrostatic force acting on the gate. So ito yung figure natin. We have ayun, 3 layers of liquid or liquids. So meron tayong oil, we have water, and then glycerin. So sa ibabaw niya, pressurized pa ng hangin, that is 32 kilopascals. So tinatanong lang yung total hydrostatic force acting on this inclined gate. Again, so that should be on the center of pressure. So kapag naka-incline siya, class, how do we compute for the hydrostatic force? We can have it as gamma h bar times the area. Kaya lang, wala tayong equivalent ng h bar kapag yung surface is naka-incline, and at the same time kapag multiple layers of liquid lang, multiple of layers yung liquid natin. So di ba usually ginagamit lang natin ito kapag 1 liquid. And yung isa pang condition nito, one liquid siya, dapat yung liquid surface niya is zero pressure. So ano yung ginagawa natin before? Again, so if we have multiple layers of liquid, ang ginagawa natin is the force is equal to the pressure up to the center of gravity multiplied by the area. So kung napakaraming pressure, ang gagawin natin is summation of pressures lang. Yan, we do the summation of all pressures hanggang center of gravity. Then multiplied by the area, that will be the total hydrostatic force. So gawin natin for this item, we have the force is equal to, yan, summation of pressures. Ano yung unang pressure natin? Air pressure of 32 kilopascals. Then plus, gamitin natin yung gamma H dito. So specific gravity is 0.8, height niya is 1. We have that as 0.8 times the 9.81. Ang height ng oil is 1 meter. Then plus, kasunod, next is water. Okay, so we have that as water, we have that as 9.81. Okay, that 9.81. Ano yung height ng tubig? Yung height ng tubig is 1.5 meters. Last layer tayo, we have the glycerin. Specific gravity is 1.26. That should be 1.26 ng 9.81. So, ang kailangan lang natin is yung location ng center of gravity. So, nakabigay naman siya, binigay naman siya exactly 3 meters galing dun sa interface with water. So, that should be the height of the glycerin hanggang center of gravity lang, 3 meters. Ayan. So, summation of all pressures hanggang center of gravity. Yan, 32, yung oil, yung tubig, and then glycerin. Kapag nandun na tayo sa center of gravity, i-multiply na natin yon sa area ng gate. The area of the gate is 2 meters by 2 meters by 4 meters. This will be the total hydrostatic force, or the total force acting on the gate. So if you are to solve for that one, so we have 32 plus 0.8 of the 9.81. 1 meter lang yan. Plus tubig. That is 9.81. Height ng tubig is 1.5. Plus glycerin, specific gravity 1.26 times the 9.81. Height ng glycerin hanggang center of gravity is 3. Multiplied by the area, we have that as 2 by 4 equal to, so that as 733.158 kilonewtons. So let's say 733.158 kilonewtons. And so check. And 733.158. So check natin yan sa choices. Okay, therefore for item number 16, okay, we have that as 733.16. So that will be letter C tayo dun. Okay, proceed tayo sa item number 17. So sabi dito, a spherical balloon of 6 meters in diameter if filled with gas weighing 5 newtons per cubic meter in standard air weighing 12 newtons per cubic meter. What is the maximum load excluding its own weight that the balloon can lift? So let's say ito yung balloon natin, meron siyang laman na gas. So ang unit weight ng balloon, ang unit weight ng gas sa loob ng balloon is equal to 5 newtons per cubic meter. Tapos yung air outside the balloon, gamma air natin is equal to Okay, we have the 12 newtons per cubic meter. So, syempre, mas magaan yung hangin sa loob. So, most likely, lilipad dapat itong balloon. So, ano yung additional weight daw? Sabihin natin W na pwedeng buhatin ng balloon. Para siyang buoyancy pero hangin yung usapan. So, summation forces vertical, 'di ba? Meron tayong buoyant force and then yung additional weight and isama lang natin syempre yung weight ng gas. Ayan. So, number 17, main equation natin, summation of forces vertical equal to 0, upward forces to be positive. Ayun. So, ano yung upward force? Yun yung buoyant force because of the air minus yung weight ng gas na nasa loob minus yung additional weight na bubuhatin ng balloon equal to 0. So, ang equivalent natin dito is para siyang gamma times the volume. I-assume natin na ayun nga yung buong balloon is napalibutan ng hangin. So paano natin i-compute yung weight ng gas? So weight ng gas is basically gamma times the volume. So meron naman tayong gamma ng gas. Yung volume is yung sphere natin, meron tayong diameter na 6 meters. So ang radius ng sphere na to should be 3 meters. So yung volume ng sphere is basically 4 pi divided by 3 radius raised to 3. And we substitute. So buoyant force natin is gamma of air times the volume. Gamma of air is 12 newtons times volume is 4 pi divided by 3. Yung volume yung radius ng sphere is 3 cube minus yung weight ng gas. Ano yung gamma ng gas? We have 5 newtons per cubic meter. Pareho na lang yun sa volume ng sphere. We have that as the 4 pi divided by 3. Then radius 3 raised to 3 minus the additional load W equal to 0. So what should be less? The value of the W. Ayan, so pwede natin i-factor out yan. Yun yung 12 minus 5. Okay, multiplied by 4 of shift pi divided by 3. So the radius is 3 cube. So this should be equal to 252 of pi or 791.681. 791.681 newtons. So since lahat naman ng units natin dito nasa newtons. So do we have this one sa choices? Okay, item number 17 is letter B tayo doon. 791.68. Okay, so before the next problem, okay, intro muna tayo dito sa topic na to. Okay, so the next topic is the stability of floating bodies. So pag may nilagay tayo na object sa liquid, so for the case ng mga floating bodies, hindi naman talaga sila upright na nakatayo while floating. So, paano ba natin didesign na pag naglagay tayo ng object like for example, yung bangka or yung barko, pag nilagay natin sa dagat is upright yung kanyang position while floating. Ang concept na pagdidesign nun is the stability of floating bodies. We need to familiarize some of the points when it comes to this analysis. We have yung point M. Let's say this is point M. So M is simply the, sabihin natin M is simply the metacenter. M is the metacenter. Then, kailangan din nating illocate yung center of gravity ng object. So, ang ginagamit the usual is capital G. So, this is the center of gravity. Then, meron tayong submerged height, yun yung H sub. Pero, ang madalas na ginagamit dito is D, which means draft. So, basically, again, yun yung height na nakalubog. Doon sa height na nakalubog is meron tayong tinatawag na center of buoyancy. Ito yung B sub O. So we have B sub O. This is the center of buoyancy. Yan. So that is the center of buoyancy, the B sub O. So ano yung mga kailang i-compute dito? When it comes to the stability of floating bodies, ang isa sa mga kino-compute dito is the mg. So mg is basically the metacentric height. Yan. So metacentric height, mg. Kung titingnan lang natin sa ating floating body yung mga points na yon, mg is simply the distance from the metacenter to the center of gravity. So, how do we compute that? Ayan, meron tayong distance pa na kailangang i-consider. Ito yung B sub O. Again, kung babalikan natin, from metacenter to the center of gravity is mg. We have that as g. From the metacenter papuntang center of buoyancy, ano naman yung distance na to? That is simply mb sub O. O, yun lang naman siya. We have the mb sub O. So, meron tayong formula how to determine yung value ng mb sub O. mb sub O is can be computed as pag rectangular, yan, applicable lang muna ito sa mga rectangular sections. Yan. So therefore, kung hindi siya rectangular, wag nating gagamitin. So the equivalent of mb sub O is, we have that as the b squared divided by 12 times d. So by the way, ano yung b? Ito yung width ng section na kino-consider natin. Let's say that is b. So b squared divided by 12d multiplied by 1 plus this is the tangent squared of theta divided by 2. So bakit may tangent theta tayo doon? Yung theta is kung meron mang tilting, kung nagkaroon ng tilt yung ating floating body. So for example, kung bigla siyang umikot or may konting movement, yun yung kailangan nating i-consider na tilt. Again, yung formula na to is applicable only for rectangular sections. So wag niyong gagamitin sa ibang sections. So far parang ang tinatanong naman sa board exam dito is the usual rectangular section or parang mga konting definition of terms lang or analysis lang ng mga points. So, based sa figure natin, ayan, balik tayo dito sa figure. Paano natin i-compute yung mg? So, the usual, we have the distance mg, this is the metacentric height, is simply, we have the mb sub O, di ba yun? From metacenter to the center of buoyancy, minus, may kailangan lang tayong ibawas na distance. Ano yung distance na yun? Ito yung distance from the center of gravity to the center of buoyancy. So, from the letter itself, yung mga letters mismo, this is G, B sub O. Anong ibig sabihin nun? Center of gravity to the center of buoyancy. So we have that as, okay, minus the GB sub O. So di ba parang i-observe lang natin, MB sub O minus the GB sub O is mg. So parang ito lang yung ating reference dito sa ating figure. So pag nagkaroon tayo ng positive na value ng mg, ibig sabihin yung ating floating body is, ayan, kapag positive yung nakuha natin na mg, ibig sabihin yung floating body is stable. And yun nga, kung nagkaroon naman tayo ng negative na mg, ang ibig sabihin lang nun, the floating body is simply unstable. So, bakit meron tayong stable and unstable? May mga possible movement ang isang floating body. So, for example, with respect sa kanyang weaker and stronger axis. So, ito ba yung shorter axis natin? Obviously, siya yung weaker. Longer axis, yun yung ating stronger axis. So, example lang natin, rectangle, ang orientation natin dito is top. Okay, this is top view. So, top view. Kung ang rotation, yun, kung ang rotation ng ating floating body, kung magtitilt siya ng malala, kung magkakaroon siya ng tilting yan, parallel to its weaker axis, ang term na ginagamit doon is the rolling. Kung ang ating movement of the floating body is parallel dito sa weaker axis, we call that as the rolling. Pero paano naman kapag ang movement niya is parallel dito sa ating stronger axis? Okay, ito yung green. So for example, ang rotation niya is parallel dito sa ating length. So ang term naman na ginagamit doon, we have the, okay, this is the pitching. Yan. So just in case lang na baka ang itanong is definition of term. So in most cases, para maging positive yung value ng mg, in most cases dapat nasa taas ang metacenter. So just in case na yung metacenter is somewhere between yung center of gravity or the center of buoyancy, mataas yung chance na it will be unstable. So dapat yung metacenter nasa taas. Alright, so let us solve item number 18 to 20. A barge along Pasig River is in the form of a parallel pipe having dimensions of 30 meters long and 10 meters wide and 3 meters high. When loaded, the total weight is 4,500 kilonewtons and the center of gravity is 4 meters above the bottom of the barge. So the liquid of the river has a specific gravity of 1.01. So question number 18 is compute the draft of the barge. So parang ito yung figure natin. So siguro medyo nakapagtataka na yung center of gravity is above 3 meters. So sabi naman niya, the barge is loaded. So possible yun yung reason kaya lumipat ng kaunti yung center of gravity. Ayun. So yung question number 18 is tinatanong yung draft. So yung draft kanina, ito yung D. Pero yun nga, D yung common na ginagamit na term. But basically, that is the height submerged. So ang gagamitin lang natin dito is buoyancy. So di ba sa buoyancy, okay, we have the weight of the object. So isang buoyant force, bubuhatin siya ng buoyant force. Okay, for question number 18, we do summation of forces vertical equal to 0, upward forces to be positive. So since floating object siya, the magnitude of the buoyant force is simply the weight of the object. So that is simply, buoyant force natin is the gamma liquid volume submerged is equal to the weight of the object na given. We have 4,500 kilonewtons. So equal to the weight of the object. Ay gamma liquid, so take note, ang given na specific gravity, we have that as 1.01. 0.01. Gamma liquid, 9.81. Then, volume sub. Ano yung volume sub natin? Take note, di ba, pag top view, yan. So, the dimension is 10 meters wide. That is 10 meters wide, 30 meters long. So, that is 10 by 30. And then, yung depth na nakalubog is to a height 8 sub. Pero ang ginagamit kasi dito is the D, which means draft, is equal to the total weight of 4,500 kilonewtons. So, ito yung sagot natin sa item number 18, the draft, or basically the height submerged. Okay, so compute natin, that will be 4,500. This is divided by 1.01 multiplied by the 9.81, and then ayun, so times 10 times 30. So we have the draft is equal to 1.539. Gawin natin 1.514 meters. So that will be the draft or the height submerged of the barge. So kung babalikan natin, item number 18, excuse, that will be letter C, 1.514 meters. So buoyancy lang yung ginamit natin dito. Question number 19 is, what is the metacentric height with respect to rolling? So ano ulit yung rolling kanina? Kapag yung tilting or movement ng ating barge or ng floating object ay parallel sa shorter dimension. Ito yung rolling. So kapag rolling ang usapan, i-consider natin yung parallel dimension natin. Ayan, so this is item number 19. So, di ba, ang usapan dito is the rolling. Ang gagamitin natin na value of B is yung weaker axis. That should be 10 meters. Okay? So, wala siyang nabanggit about tilting. Di ba? Walang sinabi sa problem na nag-tilt na yung ating barge. Kapag wala pang given, we can just assume that the theta is simply 0 degree. So, we can compute first yung isa sa mga distances, MB sub O. Ano ulit yung MB sub O natin? I-assume muna natin for this example na yung ating metacentric height ay nasa itaas ng center of gravity. And somewhere dito, yung ating center of buoyancy, that is the B sub O. So, ano yung MB sub O? Formula natin kanina. This is the B squared divided by 12 times the draft multiplied by 1 plus this is tangent squared of theta then divided by 2. Pero take note, ang tilting natin is 0. Wala siyang binigay na rotation. And tangent 0 is simply 0. So kung 0 na to, ang maiiwan, we have the B squared over 12D times 1 is simply the B squared divided by 12 times the draft. Okay, yan lang siya when it comes to 0 tilting. I-compute na natin ngayon yung distance from the metacenter to the center of buoyancy. Kapag rolling, ang B natin is 10, the weaker axis. So 10 squared divided by 12 times. Ano ulit yung ating draft kanina? The draft is 1.514. So that is 10 divided by 12 times 1.514 meters. So equal to, so we have that as 10 squared divided by 12 times the 1.514. So we have that as 5.504. 5.504 meter or meters. So again, kung babalikan natin sa ating figure, Okay, that is the metacentric height or the metacenter. Okay, that is the metacenter, patpuntang center of buoyancy. So we have that as the B sub O. So paano natin malalaman yung mg? Again, yung mg, ito yun, from the metacenter, simply papuntang center of gravity. This is our metacentric height, mg. So sa B sub O is dapat nasa gitna siya ng draft. So, di ba? So, center of buoyancy, nasa mid-height siya kung ano yung height na nakalubog. This is the draft divided by 2, the draft divided by 2. So, based sa ating figure, malalaman na ba natin yung distance from the center of gravity to the center of buoyancy? Ito yung ating GB sub O. Ayan, based sa figure, how to determine GB sub O? Okay, yung ating B sub O is equal to, according to the problem, galing dito sa ilalim ng barge, papuntang center of gravity, we have that as the 4 meters. Minus, ibawas lang natin yung ating the D over 2. Diba? So, that is 4 meters minus center of buoyancy is nandito siya sa the D over 2. Or the draft divided by 2. So that is simply minus the draft over 2. So we'll be having this, that is 4 minus 1.514 meters divided by 2. And that should be equal to yan, 4 minus the 1.514 over 2 equal to and 3.243 meters. We have 3.243 meters. Ayan, so again, from our figure, that is MB sub O minus GB sub O is simply mg. So, i-compute natin yung kanyang metacentric height with respect to rolling. mg is equal to B sub O minus the GB sub O equal to, so MB sub O natin is 5.504 meters minus GB sub O is 3.243 meters. So 5.504 minus that value is 2.261. Positive siya. So we have mg is equal to 2.261 meters. Again, kung ang nakuha natin na value is positive, which means stable siya, it is not prone to rolling. Check natin sa choices number 19, 2.261. Okay, so we have that as letter A. Yan. 2.6261 meters. Okay, lastly, number 20, determine the metacentric height with respect to pitching. Ayun. So, kapag pitching naman yung usapan, di ba pag pitching, ang tilting ng object natin is parallel sa ating stronger axis. So, ito naman yung the pitching. So, tinatanong yung metacentric height. Yun yung ating number 20. So, kapag ang usapan na natin ngayon is the pitching, ang gagamitin natin na capital B is yung longer axis, the 30 meters. Again, walang nabanggit na tilting, kaya ang theta mo pa rin is 0 degree. So, di ba kapag 0 degree, pareho lang dun sa equation natin kanina, dun sa item number 19. Nang equivalent ng B sub O will be simply the B squared divided by 12 times the draft. Pero again, ang bin natin ngayon is 30. Pero the same lang yung draft. Di ba, pareho lang yung height na nakalubog in all direction. So this is the 30 squared divided by 12. Ang draft natin is 1.514 meters. So ano yung value ng MB sub O kapag ang usapan is pitching? So we have this as 30 squared divided by 12. Yung draft natin is 1.514. So that's 49.538. Okay, so 49.538 meters. And pareho lang yung GB sub O natin in all direction. Di ba? So GB sub O in all direction, pareho lang din. So kunin natin yung equivalent na metacentric height kapag ang usapan is the pitching. Mg is equal to M B sub O minus the G B sub O. So MB sub O natin kapag pitching is we have 538 minus GB sub O, pareho lang. It should be 3.243 meters. Ayan, so it will be 49.538 minus 3.243. So this is 46.295. 46.295 meters. And still positive, which means malabo na magkaroon ng pitching. It is stable. So, check natin if we have sa choices kung meron ito. The positive 46 point. Tama ba? 46.295. Okay, so for item number 20, okay, that is letter D, 46.295 meters. So this will be our solution kay item 18 to 20.